Jordan, we end every On Purpose episode with the final 5.
Yeah.
And these questions have to be answered in a 1 word to 1 sentence maximum. So
how long a sentence?
You define it. You're teaching everyone how to write and think.
Okay, I'll put a lot of commas
I'll go
in.
with your definition.
All right.
Question 1, what is the best life advice you've ever heard or received?
Tell the truth, or at least don't lie.
Number 2, what is the worst advice you ever heard or received?
It's all about you.
Number 3, how would you define your current purpose?
I think I'm doing, in my way, the same thing that Elon Musk said that he was doing when I interviewed him, which is to continue exploring the limits of possibility. That's an adventure, right? To explore the limits of possibility. A lot of times possibility comes to you as tragedy. That's a good thing to understand. You know, they say every treasure has a dragon, right? But you can reverse that. And that's worth knowing too. If something terrible comes your way, it's like, there's an opportunity there. Like, it might be not the kind of opportunity you would have wished for, but that doesn't mean it isn't there.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing to know.
Have you spent a significant of time with Elon Musk, or has it been more interview?
I've met him 4 times. So we've probably spent a total of about 7 hours together. Yeah. And I would say I've walked away from each encounter more impressed with him as a character. In terms of his character, I mean, you have to be mouth open in amazement with regards to his technological and managerial, entrepreneurial prowess. I mean, it's ridiculous. But I believe that he's doing his best to aim up. Thank God. And I think that's what the Mars voyages symbolize, right? It's a mythological adventure to aim up in that manner. And it's part of his story, right? It's the mythological dimension of his story. And it's not practical, right? Except insofar as a great story is practical. So I remember the Apollo voyages. They were very motivating to people, you know, as an indication of what humanity was capable of doing. And certainly Musk is playing that out on the technological side. So
beautiful. Okay, question number 4. How do we scale trust?
By attempting to practice honesty in your own life. Yeah. And by rewarding it among the people that you interact with. It's very useful to understand that you have the opportunity to point out to other people who you interact with regularly what they're doing that is positive and good, and that there's nothing in that isn't productive.
Yeah, well said. Absolutely. 5th and final question. We ask this to every guest who's ever been on the show. If you could create one law that everyone in the world had to follow, what would it be?
Don't follow stupid rules.
What constitutes a stupid rule?
Well, that's the hard part of the problem, isn't it? I think, well, I had that conversation with my kids because it is something I told them when they went to school. I said, look, there's going to be reasonable rules at your school and there are going to be unreasonable rules. And I don't require you to follow the unreasonable rules, but you have to be willing to bear the consequences. Right. So you're morally obliged to object to foolish restrictions, but you have to be willing to pay the price for that. And there will be a price. And it has to be you that pays it. Right.
And that's hard.
Yes. It's also the difference between activism, let's say, and civil disobedience. Because if it's civil disobedience, you pay the price. If it's activism, someone else does.
Powerful. Well, I hope everyone subscribe to the podcast. If you don't already, check out Peterson Academy if you haven't already. New book out in November, We Who Wrestle with God. We got glimpses into it today. Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, thank you so much for your time and energy. I hope we get to do this again. Extremely grateful for your time and energy. And I learned a lot today. And actually, I feel I could have talked to you for another 3 hours about Eastern and Western religion and ideologies and the amount of stories that I had coming up in my mind to share back and forth. But we can save that for another time.
Yeah, well, that would be good.
I'd love to do that.
It'd be we did a little bit of that.
Yes.
We got into the overlap between the narrative domains. That would be really
And I loved
useful.
it. Yeah, I
that'd
really
be real
loved it
useful.
too. It's really beautiful.
I don't know nearly as much about Hindu religious thought as I should. I know a little bit about Buddhism and a moderate amount about Taoism, and that's been extremely useful to me. But I'm less conversant with the Hindu tradition of thought, and it would be very interesting to. I mean, I've never delved deeply, almost without exception, into a religious tradition without finding stories that were like of incalculable value.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, I'm happy to serve wherever possible.
That would be a good thing to do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, good to talk to you.
Fantastic. Such a pleasure, honestly.